Well, GTV9 is full of history, and no one knows the history of GTV9 better than Pete Smith. Pete, it is such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for these videos. And there is so much history here at GTV9, isn't there?
Absolutely. Well, for instance, right now here in the courtyard outside the Cafe 22, as they call it, being 22 Bendigo Street, Richmond, look, we are standing on one of the true landmarks of Channel 9 in Richmond, and that is the GTV chimney.
So there's a chimney on the ground?
Yeah, there is. You notice the bricks are narrower one end than they are the other. You can't buy bricks like that because they're specially made for a chimney. And they were installed for the Wertheim piano factory originally. Then later, when Wertheim got out of the business, the Heinz soup factory took over. You remember 57 varieties? Well, they made about 22 of them here, including a lot of packs, war packs for the diggers during the war were made on this site.
And the chimney, when it actually was still up on the building, it served a purpose for 9 as well.
It served a big purpose because it was our link through to Mount Dandenong, our microwave link, to get our pictures and sound up there so we could transmit to the greater Melbourne area. Yeah.
It's such a fascinating history, and there's a plaque here, and you were telling me before that it was quite unusual for the Prime Minister of the country to open a factory like the one that was built here.
It was pretty unique back in 1908, and about 2 years before, Hugo Wertheim, the young fellow who'd come out from Germany to open the piano factory, was on a train, so legend has it, going to Sydney looking for sites. He couldn't find anything in Melbourne. The MP on the train he got friendly with suggested he go back to Melbourne and check out another few sites. He recommended the Richmond site, and the rest is history. Then the MP becomes Prime Minister and comes down and does the big favour, lays the foundation stone. Pretty great, really.
A nice coincidence. And Pete, as we come to the end of GTV9 here at 22 Bendigo Street, you've been here for 47-something years. What are the biggest memories you'll take away with you?
Well, I think the comings and going of the general public. We have had literally millions of people through in our live audiences. There has never been anywhere else in Australia, let alone the world, that had such a prolific output of local live production. In the early days, it was all live because it had to be. There was no videotape. The kinescope process, the old black and white film, looked very dated. You couldn't pass it off the way you do today with Eddie and Hot Seat. So we had to do things live. So everything from early in the morning until close at night was all done live. Can you imagine the hectic atmosphere, but the exciting atmosphere? And mind you, I was a young bloke then, I could cut the mustard.
Well, I was about to say the parties too, I can imagine, that took place here.
Yes, not just the parties, but there was some naughty goings on here with the stars, because it was really like a stock company of players. Within Melbourne Tonight, which was 5 nights a week, headed up by the likes of Graham Kennedy and Bert and so forth, I had a bit part in it. Thank God I had a bit part in it. I've still got a bit part, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But you can imagine 300 people working on that show, 300 people on the staff, a live orchestra on the staff, not brought in casually for a show, on the staff, singers, 12 of them on the staff, a ballet, a full ballet, boys and girls, 12 of them on the staff.
It is amazing when you think about those figures, 300 people working.
It'll never come again.
No. It was a wonderful period of time, and to be part of that must be amazing.
It's fabulous. Timing's everything in this business, and TV was such a novelty. I mean, I knew nothing about it. We were getting away with murder night after night, because the public, you know, they were looking at this one-eyed monster. They'd paid quite a lot of money for it, you know, probably a little 17-inch. That was the main size in those days, 17-inch. If you were very rich, you could get a 22-inch or something.
Wow.
So, you know, it was a big deal, and they were just watching it. And no matter what you did, the next day you were a star. And you were sort of mixed. I was flogging Colvan potato chips or something, or your lumber wines, because the live commercials, that was the staple. And the difference between the sell and the entertainment of the commercial was smudged. So I think the record, Graham did a Pal dog food commercial. His dog came on, Rover the Wonder Dog, a Labrador Retriever, wouldn't eat the Pal dog food, but by gee, they moved the tins off the shelf the next day.
And that was part of the magic, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And there weren't the regulations that are in place now. A 60-second commercial could run 25 minutes if somebody was in a mad mood. Such was the entertainment.
Well, Pete, thank you very much for taking the time out.
Pleasure.
Pete is actually going to join us again for a very special trip in our next video, so stay tuned. Keep going to facebook.com/9news. Post some comments, questions, whatever you want to put up there, but keep watching because something very special is coming up.
And remember, these videos are the videos of the century.
Fun, insightful interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose. McKnight tonight, McKnight tonight, McKnight tonight. It's good night from McKnight tonight.